Welcome to Mysteries of Superstition Mountain. I'm Larry Hedrick, where we bring the past into the present for our future viewers. Today we have another great story by Hank Sheffer.
Well, I gotta tell you, it was during my time when I was in Uncle Sam's Canoe Club over in Asia with that silly thing going on over there back in the 60s, that I came over here to Apache Junction to visit for a little while. And a whole lot like so many of the other people, I was interested in the lore and the legend. Not so much the gold. I've never been one of those to make little rocks out of big rocks, but I love the lore and the legend and the history of the area. Some of those reasons had to do with the Indian lore that was here. And just by the nature of Indians being here, and we know they were in the 1870s and 80s, even into the 90s, they were here. And just by the nature of them being here, there are stories that circulate about tricksters and skinwalkers. Now, skinwalkers are definitely beings that can shapeshift. They can change themselves into all sorts of things or just disappear. They can do crazy stuff. I'm not so much interested in them as I am the tricksters, because the tricksters were usually coyotes or they were wolves, and they were used as a vehicle to tell stories by the medicine men. And a lot of times these stories were to teach a lesson. They would teach something about the genealogy of the tribe or the family or whatever. Any number of things. They could teach history with it. But they were just wonderful stories that the medicine man would tell. One of those stories that I always really liked a lot, because the trickster or coyote, sometimes things didn't just work out for him the way they figured they should. And one of the stories went this way. Coyote was out and he was trying to find things to eat because he was really hungry. And he noticed that buffalo was tall and majestic and royal and regal and all that, and he could walk any place he wanted to go, and he could eat the grass from any place he wanted to go. And he asked Buffalo, he said, "Could you change me into a buffalo so that I could be like you?" Well, Buffalo thought for a minute, and he thought, well, I can do that. And he told Coyote, he said, "I want you to go over and stand in that wallow and just look at me." And Coyote did. And as he was standing there staring at Buffalo, Buffalo charged him and hit him and just knocked him butt over tin cups. And when he stood back up, he was a buffalo. Well, Coyote is kind of greedy little brother is what he is. And he saw this and he thought this might be good to pass along to some of his friends. Buffalo told him not to do that, but Coyote did it anyway. And he told one of his friends, another coyote, to get into the wallow and to look at him. And as he did, he charged him and he hit him and he went butt over tin cups. And when he stood up, he was still a coyote. And the buffalo who had hit him, who had been a coyote, was now a coyote again. Now Coyote is not happy. And he went back to Buffalo and he pleaded and he said, "I am so sorry." He said, "Can you turn me back into a buffalo again?" And Buffalo looked at him, kind of okay. However Buffalo would do that, I don't know. He said, "Go over and stand in the wallow." And Coyote went over to the wallow and he stood there in the wallow. And the buffalo charged him, and he smacked him butt over tin cups and killed him dead on a rock. Coyote didn't get up. And so from that point on, Coyote has always been willing to be Coyote. And Buffalo has never liked Coyote. That's the way the story went. For me, it just tells me there are a lot more stories out there that I want to find that I can share with you. And until I find them, they're just going to remain another mystery of the Superstition Mountain. Thank you for watching this episode of Mysteries of the Superstition Mountains.